The US Open quarterfinal between Novak Djokovic and Taylor Fritz was more than just a tennis match, it became a tense, emotionally charged battle between player, crowd, and umpire. What should have been a straightforward showcase of world-class tennis turned into a psychological war of nerves, with Djokovic at the center of the storm. From the very beginning, there was a unique atmosphere inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. Playing an American opponent on American soil is never an easy challenge, and Djokovic knew this. The crowd naturally wanted to lift their local favorite, Taylor Fritz, urging him on at every chance. But as the contest progressed, the line between support and disruption seemed to blur. Djokovic, a man who has spent decades competing under immense pressure, found himself wrestling not only with Fritz's game but also with the restless energy of the fans. The incident that truly defined the evening came during a crucial service game. As Djokovic prepared to serve, the crowd grew unusually loud. People shouted out, made noises between points, and disrupted his rhythm. Normally, the Serbian champion has ways to block out distractions, but on this night, something snapped. He stopped, turned toward the chair umpire, and made his frustration clear. His voice, sharp and direct, carried across the court. "What are you going to do about it?" The stadium seemed to freeze for a moment, as if everyone was waiting for the umpire's reply. And then came the response, calm, measured, but cutting. "It's not going to help, Novak." Those words landed heavily. For Djokovic, it wasn't just about enforcing the rules, it was about fairness, about respect. He wasn't asking for favoritism, only for the same standard of quiet concentration that every player deserves while serving. Yet the umpire's answer suggested resignation, that nothing could really be done to control the crowd. In that instant, Djokovic felt isolated, almost betrayed, and the tension spiraled. Fritz, to his credit, seized the opening. With Djokovic's focus shaken, the American lifted his level. He broke serve, surged ahead 4-1, and suddenly the energy in the stadium turned electric. The fans, emboldened by Fritz's momentum, grew louder still. Every Djokovic mistake was met with cheers, every Fritz winner with roars of approval. What had started as an ordinary quarterfinal now had the flavor of a drama, with Djokovic cast as the villain in the eyes of the New York crowd. But Djokovic is no ordinary athlete. His career has been defined by his ability to rise above adversity, to channel negative energy into fuel. Yet on this night, even he struggled. The frustration was etched into his face. After certain points, he looked directly at the umpire, his body language a mix of disbelief and exasperation. At one stage, he gestured in irritation, drawing boos from the stands. The more he reacted, the more the crowd seemed to feed off it, creating a cycle of tension that neither side could escape. Adding to the drama was Djokovic's service routine. Known for his meticulous ball-bouncing ritual, he often bounces the ball more than most players before serving. But under pressure, that routine stretched to extremes, sometimes reaching 30 bounces. Each elongated pause between serves became another trigger for the fans' impatience. Restless murmurs grew louder, and sighs filled the air. It was as though every bounce became a small act of defiance, a silent battle between Djokovic's need for control and the crowd's desire to break it. To the casual viewer, it might have seemed like Djokovic was overreacting. After all, isn't noise part of sports? Don't athletes need to adjust? But tennis is different. Unlike basketball or football, where noise is constant, tennis demands silence at key moments. Serving at the highest level requires razor-sharp focus. A single distraction can shift the balance of an entire game, an entire set, or even an entire match. So, was it unfair to Djokovic? That question lingers. On one hand, the US Open has long been known for its rowdy atmosphere. Players who step onto that court understand the environment they are entering. The crowd is passionate, and when an American is on court, the energy leans heavily toward them. Djokovic, with his decades of experience, knows this better than anyone. On the other hand, fairness in sport isn't about tradition, it's about consistency. If the rules say silence during serves, then that standard should be upheld, regardless of who is playing. Allowing fans to disrupt one player while another benefits from the chaos creates an uneven playing field. In that sense, Djokovic had every right to feel aggrieved. This moment will likely be remembered not just as a tennis exchange, but as a human one. It revealed the vulnerability of even the greatest athletes. Djokovic, often portrayed as a machine-like competitor, showed raw emotion. His words to the umpire, his reactions to the crowd, his long ball bounce ritual, all were signs of a man grappling with forces beyond his control, and yet, this is also what makes sport so compelling. Tennis is not played in silence or in a vacuum. It is shaped by atmosphere, by crowd energy, by human psychology. Djokovic's clash with the umpire and the crowd was not a sideshow, it was part of the match itself. For Fritz, this was a moment of opportunity. While Djokovic wrestled with the noise and his own emotions, Fritz stayed steady. He took advantage of the cracks in Djokovic's armor, proving that sometimes, mental battles are just as important as physical ones. For the American, playing with the support of a passionate home crowd was a gift he knew how to use. For Djokovic, the evening was a test of resilience. Whether fair or not, it forced him to confront the limits of his composure. Every champion has moments where they feel the world is against them. What separates legends is their ability to adapt, to overcome, and to turn adversity into triumph. As the match wore on, Djokovic would have to dig deep. The boos, the umpire's words, the endless bouncing of the ball, the noise between serves, all of it became part of his battle. The crowd may not have been on his side, but his willpower remained his greatest ally. In the end, whether fans sympathize with Djokovic or not, the incident raises bigger questions about tennis itself. Should players be left to fend for themselves against unruly crowds? Should umpires be more proactive in enforcing silence? Or is this simply the unique flavor of the US Open, where passion spills into chaos, and players must learn to survive it? One thing is certain, the quarterfinal between Djokovic and Fritz was not just about forehands and backhands. It was about fairness, respect, and the invisible tug-of-war between athlete and environment. It was a reminder that tennis, at its core, is not just a game of skill, it is a game of nerves, where even the greatest champions can be rattled by forces beyond their control.